and gentlemen, welcome to 16th Annual Aim for Seva Gala. My name is Jyoti Gupta. I am the co-chair of Young Professional Group for Aim for Seva and one of your MCs for this evening.
And I'm Rachit, your other MC for tonight. We thank you for joining us as we celebrate your collective efforts to provide an education, and not only that, a fulfilling life for all the deserving kids in India. And so, on behalf of Raman Kumar and all the kids sponsored in the past and the potential ones tonight, a round of applause for everybody here tonight. Come on, louder guys, let's hear it.
We want to take a moment and wish well and peace for everyone in Florida who's suffering from the devastating floods and hurricane. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start this evening with an enigmatic dance piece performed by internationally acclaimed Sukalyana Bhattacharya entourage. This contemporary dance piece will take you through the journey of Goddess Durga and the power of her divine forces against all evil. This first act is called Shakti the Diva. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to be mesmerized.
शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते अग्निज्वाला रौद्रमुखी कालरात्रि तपस्विनी नारायणी भद्रकाली विष्णु माया जलोदरी निशुंभ शुंभ हननी महिषासुरमर्दिनी मधुकैटभहंत्री च चंडमुंड विनाशिनी शिवदूती कराली च अनंता परमेश्वरी कात्यायनी च सावित्री प्रत्यक्षा ब्रह्मवादिनी चलिए भगवती आज अपने पिता मधुर गीत गाए ये चारों दिशाएं दिवाकर के ज्योति से चमके मुखाकृति नयन में करोड़ों दिए झिलमिलाए खुले केश सिंदूर माथे पे दमके गले रंग कमलों की माला भी गमके मिला है तुम्हें तेज हर देवता से तुम्हारे तरस को हर एक नैन तरसे जय देवी दुर्गे नमो देवी दुर्गे श्री देवी दुर्गे नमो देवी शिवप्रिया शशि शेखरा शक्ति स्वरूपा त्रिपुर सुंदरी शंखम चक्रधर खड्गधारिणी हे माता सिंह शोभिता महिषासुरनारद संहारिणी उमा पार्वती कनक नूपुरा दुर्गा दुर्गति हारिणी जीवदानी शुभगामा रतन कुंडला
मंगल मुद सिद्धि सदन पर्व शर्वरीश वदनी तापति निर तरुण तरुण किरण मालिका
वरविन्द्यशिरोधिनि वासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते भगवति देशिति कण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते
Another round of applause for that beautiful performance. Now, as we continue on with this evening of fun, emotional moral contemplation over the frequency of Starbucks purchases, just saying 1 coffee a day, child's life, okay? It's bothered me. And also, genuine compassion. I'm sure most of you have noticed the tablets scattered across the room on your tables. Now, unfortunately, these are not party favors. They are, however, the Givergy app, where you will be bidding on the silent auction. And now, if you need any help using this device, to my dear aunties and uncles, my mummy and papa, apart from the deep, extensive Facebook and WhatsApp education provided by your children, there will be graceful volunteers holding those orange batons. Wave them in the air. Yeah, you see them? If you have any problems or concerns, they will be there all night to help you. And don't worry, Mummy, I'll be there for you, wherever you are.
That's awesome. And if you haven't already noticed, your names are already entered into the tablet so that you can just go in there and start bidding. But if you don't see your name in the tablet, don't worry. It is very easy to add yourself on the tablet and get bidding. And you can ask one of our volunteers as well. At 8:30, we will give you a 15-minute silent auction closing countdown, and at 8:45, we will close silent auction, at which point you will be receiving a text if you win an item. And once you get the text, feel free to walk outside. There is a desk for where you can pay for the silent auction item. It is outside in the lobby outside the silent auction room, and you can pay for it, get an itemized receipt, and you can be on your way.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Devio or Sajana, I'd like to direct your attention to the screens around the room to view a short film about Aim for Seva.
मेरा नाम उदारुण है। मैं 9th क्लास में पढ़ती हूँ और मैं त्रिपुरा मिज़ोरम से आई हूँ। हम रेफ्यूजी हैं, इसलिए हमारे पास ज़मीन नहीं है। हमारे ब्रू जाति पर्वतों में रहते हैं। हमारे यहाँ बारिश होने से रास्ते तो जाते हैं, बिखर कर नष्ट हो जाते हैं, इसलिए हमको आने जाने में बहुत तकलीफ़ होती है। हमारे यहाँ करेंट का भी सुविधा नहीं है। मेरे मम्मी पापा मजदूरी करते हैं जंगल में जाकर। पापा बीमार है तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते। दीदी और भैया इस दुनिया में नहीं रहे। और हमारे जाति में बहुत गरीबी स्थिति है, क्योंकि पैसा कमाने के लिए कुछ हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है। हमारे आसपास कुछ कॉलेज, स्कूल और हॉस्पिटल कुछ भी नहीं है, इसलिए हमको हॉस्पिटल जाने के लिए भी बहुत दूर जाना पड़ता है। पानी भरने के लिए बहुत पर्वत से नीचे जाना पड़ता है। सब्जी ढूंढने के लिए पर्वतों में चढ़ना पड़ता है। मुझे कुछ नशा, गन पीने और पकड़ने का नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसे समय में एक अच्छा रास्ता मिल गया था और मैं अभी पालन कर रही हूँ। मुझे एम फॉर सेवा के बारे में देश भैया और बिरवाहू भैया के माध्यम से पता चला। उन्होंने मम्मी पापा को फ़ोन किया कि वहाँ पे कुछ बच्चे को ले रही है कल हॉस्टल है खाते गांव में, तो हमारे बहनों को भी वहाँ पे पढ़ाई करने के लिए भेजा। यहाँ पे 4 साल हो गए एम4 सेवा में, और यहाँ के वातावरण ये सिटी से दूर है लेकिन ये बहुत अच्छा है। दीदी स्वामी जी, हमारे साथी दीदी, ये सब मतलब दूसरे जाति, दूसरी भाषा और कोई कोई धर्म भी अलग है, फिर भी यहाँ पे हम बहुत अच्छे से रहते हैं मिलजुल कर। मुझे मम्मी पापा की यहाँ पे बहुत याद आती है। जब हम यहाँ से गर्मी छुट्टी मनाने के लिए घर गए थे, मेरे सहेलियों को देखा मैंने, मेरे मन ऐसे हुए अगर मेरी सहेली ये सब मेरे जैसे पढ़ते तो अच्छे रहते, मेरे साथ वहाँ पे जाते। हमारे गांव में अच्छा हॉस्पिटल नहीं है और कोई अच्छा डॉक्टर नहीं है, और मैं बड़ी होकर डॉक्टर बनना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि मेरे भाई 1.5 साल बीमार हुई थी, उसके बाद मर गए थे। उस बीमारी को कोई नहीं पहचान पाई। फिर मैंने सोचा यहाँ पे आकर कि मुझे डॉक्टर बनना है, उस बीमारी को पहचानना है कि वो बीमारी क्या था।
In one way or another, each of you here is somehow connected to Dr. Terry Papneja. And I've been so lucky to have had the honor of calling him my uncle, Terry Mama, my entire life. From the unconditional love he shared with me and all of us in this room, to being the leader for Aim for Seva Canada, showcasing his dedicated commitment to children in the utmost of need, it's left me at a loss for words. Well, maybe one word comes to mind, and I'll try to say it with the same spirit and tone as the man I'm about to introduce. Wow. So everyone, a round of applause and a big wow, don't be shy, say it. Wow for my uncle, your friend, Dr. Terry Papneja.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to welcome you all. You are a special group of people, so generous at heart and kind. So welcome and enjoy the evening with us. We just saw the video. The Udaran took us to her home and her village to show us her journey of life, what environment, hardship they live. And you can see that there are no drinking water in the remote villages of India. And these are the children we want to reach out and give them the education. And you can see, because there's no school, so learning years are wasted on the street, playing around. And because of you, now Udaran lives in Aim for Seva hostel and goes to school. Udaran is now grade 9, and since she lost her brother, who was 4-year-old, there was no medical care doctor available. So she has a reason to become a doctor. She is a passionate and leader in making. Think about it. Leader always see the problem and they do something about it. And shows a good sign of leadership. She will grow up and support her community, and one thing is for sure, her future generations will be always educated. So you have not only educated one child, Udaran, you have educated many generations through her. And this is a typical of India. Remote villages have no school after grade 5. So what children should do? They have no choice unless, people like you who are willing to support and educate them, and we can send them to school. So it's your time to choose. Help them educate or leave them helpless. that's the decision you make. Do you want to become their ladder for success, or you want to leave them alone? We have heard about Robert Baden-Powell, leave the world a little better than you found. And that's what you're leaving your legacy is. He also goes on to say, when you're dying on your deathbed, you will feel that you did not waste your life. You did your best to make the world a little better than you found. Hindus believe in the rebirth. So we will be coming for many lives on the earth. So it's a good idea to be angel now for somebody. Someone will be your angel in your next life. Your lifetime goal should be what I think, minimum 5 to 20 children. Now this is a lifetime goal. And each child you educate, it takes 10 years. That's the cycle. You can donate yourself and you encourage others to donate. If you talk to somebody 20 minutes, once a month, you will have one more child sponsor next year and every year. All it is a 20-minute talk to one person once a month. Our vision is educate and empower these children and educate them. We make them financially independent. Our goal is 1,000 child sponsorship next year. Currently we are 600. So we are short of 400 child sponsorship. So you have a lot of work to do. Each one of you have to find me one more child sponsorship than what you already have. City like Toronto, people like you, I don't see any problem on this, achieving that. But it will take a strong resolve in your mind. Our programs, child sponsorship is a $500, but in reality, your cost is $300 only because you get $200 back from the taxman. So you're just paying a $1 a day, which pays for whole year expense for the child, for his school, his living expenses, all is paid. And a sponsorship is a 10-year commitment. It's just like your own child. You will make sure they are fully educated. Same way is here. You sponsor a child for 10 years. Children spend 7 years in the hostel from grade 6 to 12. And after that, they do vocational training or university education. This is another way, AIM 365. This is the new way of celebration we are introducing tonight. It was a Pankaj Bajaj's idea. What it is, you celebrate your special day with us, with AIM for Seva. All your birthdays, anniversaries, remembering parents, their birthdays, your business anniversaries, you donate $1,000. But remember, your cost is only $600. But we celebrate this on the Facebook. So there will be 365 donors who will support 730 children. And all will be on the Facebook, including their friends. So think about, within a year or two, there may be 5,000-6,000 people watching your Facebook celebration. Other ways, we have a scholarship, 5 children for 10 years. After tax, your cost is $1,500 a year. So basically, you support 5 children for 10 years. 10 children for 10 years, your cost is $3,000 after the tax. 20 children for 10 years. Your cost is $6,000 a year after the tax. And we put a stone plaque in the hostel wall. All 3 scholarships we put on our Facebook also to recognize your donation, your kind donation. One thing very important for us is we take children them to the finish line. Means once the child comes to the hostel, then we make sure they are financially independent. They have got vocational training or the university education. Another option we have is a building student homes. Student homes, hostels, we build near the small city where we bring these children from the remote villages and we provide them the nurturing environment They follow the daily routine, includes study, yoga, exercises, and everything. Our goal is to build 640 hostels. Currently, we are at 113 hostels in last 15 years. So we have a long way to go. So please look into it, join us for it. You leave your legacy, you donate a hostel building. Hostel building is named after you or your loved one. It is a home for 50 children every year. Think about in next 100 years, it will be home for 500 children. 500 children will grow up there. They will call it is their home. And the cost of the hostel donation is $180,000, but in reality, after tax is $100,000. And you can pay in installment also. But that is the kind of legacy you can leave, that for next 100 years, the home for 500 children, and where the 500 children will grow up and get the education. So this is in nutshell, Toronto's contribution in last 15 years. Toronto is the most donor city in the world. We have raised $5.5 million in last 15 years. Money is raised all across USA in 15 cities, Europe as well as Australia and in India. But any city's contribution, Toronto is the highest. We have donated 25 hostel buildings out of 113. And we supported 600 children last year. So thank you. Our volunteer teams makes it happen. We have a great team of volunteers. Think about it. We put up 4 shows. We do this gala. Everything is done by the volunteers. You look our event booklet, silent auction, all it is a countless numbers of hundreds of hours of work, a dedicated effort. And that's what the team is about. Our volunteers are amazing, do their best. They show tremendous passion, commitment, and they take initiative. Every year, I highlight one of the volunteers. So tonight, we are going to talk about Harsha Dinekar. Give her a big round of applause. She is AIM for Seva accountant. She does all the tax receipts, reports for governments, HST, any questions regarding the accounting matters. She has been with us for last 10 years. Very dedicated, very committed, and very efficient. She does the work in a lightning speed. In few minutes, everything gets done. We are lucky we have 2 accountants with AIM for Seva, Arun Luthra and Harsha Dinekar. They both are chartered accountants. They are guided by their professional organization about the ethics. They make sure money is safeguarded, spent for the charitable activity, and all the reporting is trustworthy to you. So you can trust the 2 professional chartered accountants look after the financial reporting. This is a unique thing about our charity. Any money is donated for child sponsorship or the hostel, 100% goes to the cause. There is no administration fee in Toronto, Canada. There is no employee on the payroll in Canada. Annual Gala is self-funded. Lot of event sponsors. Our volunteers donate, advertisers, silent auction, ticket sale. That's what pays for the gala. And that's how the money can go 100%. Now, guess what? We are getting awards also because of the good work. We got the Guide Star India Award, Platinum Award, that is given out of 8,000 charities. Any charity which shows transparency and accountability. This award is being given in November this year, University of Manitoba. They have an India Center. Every year they pick one individual or any organization who has made the difference. And they are given award, and there is a gala night just for this award. So it is done in a black tie dinner in a palm ceremony. An aim for Seva is chosen for this year Gala Award dinner. That is on Friday, November 10th. Anybody wants to join us, represent Toronto, please do so. Let me know. And on Thursday night, the day prior, Indian Association of Manitoba will host another dinner. So this is how they want to celebrate the good work we are doing. And it's always happening because the donors like you. So give a round of applause to all our donors. And this award, I named it Award of Trust. Last year, Mr. Inder Sharma donated us $2 million. That is a huge vote of trust. When I call this award of the trust, cannot be bigger award than this. And this award he has given us for total transparency, accountability, and measurable results. We show it. So thank you, Inderji. Mike Lakhani gave us the idea of endowment fund. About 6 years ago, Mike and his lovely wife, Ela, Nimi, and I, we went to hostel inauguration in Khategaon. Mike has never been to Madhya Pradesh, and he was telling me, I want to give hostel in Gujarat. So I told Mike, here there is a need. He says, he took 1 minute, if there is a need, let's do it here. When I promised Mike, I will come with you to Khategaon. So I go with Ela, Mike, myself, Nimi in inauguration. And he spent 5 hours with the children, talking to the parents. And he just loved it. Guess what? After we came to Toronto, he started talking, Terry, I want to do $500,000 endowment fund. I want that hostel children to be self-supported for years to come. There should not be any discontinuity. And you don't have to worry about support for those 40 children in the hostels. And in next 2 years, he donated $500,000 endowment fund. Now, his idea of endowment gradually started growing on me. It's doable, it's a good thing. And that's when we talked to Inder Sharma ji. And that's how he donated $2 million, because Khategaon Hostel and School, that project need a $4 million of endowment fund. And so this endowment fund, I thought we will name it as a scholarship, perpetuity scholarship, because it will go on till endless of time. So endowment fund stays in Canada. Only 4% of the investment income goes to support a hostel of 40 children. In other words, $20,000 of investment income will support to 40 children. And that will go on for generations, hundreds of years to come. Lot of you, who children are well settled, grown up, they don't need your money. You don't need RRSP money. So rather than paying RRSP money, tax on RRSP money or state tax, you donate to Aim for Seva in this endowment fund. And you don't pay taxes. Money is used for some good purpose. You're leaving a legacy. And this is your legacy. A scholarship is named after you or your loved one. Think about it. Even 100 years after your death, children living in that hostel will be celebrating your birthday. And they will be remembering you. And they will always feel you were the reason they got the education. What a beautiful way to leave the legacy. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Dr. Papneja. That was fantastic. As you can see, we've accomplished so much, but there's so much more we have to accomplish. What we've gotten so far as we've come, it wouldn't have been possible without the efforts of the volunteers who have been selflessly working around the clock to put an event like this together. From the core committee to the young professional groups to the youth volunteers, we've come together at many occasions to raise funds for this worthy cause, and we all believe in one and one only purpose: to educate kids. Let's take a look at what some of our volunteers have to say.
I used to volunteer for different associations. There was not much focus. I joined M4 Seva team. It has been a very satisfying task.
I'm thankful to a group of friends who introduced me to this charity. It's a channel to be a role model for my kids and give back to my country.
I watched the videos of some of the kids. There was once this kid who was talking about how he wanted to go to school, and I compared that to me, who would always complain every morning.
We always took the bus to school, so I always thought of it as like a long way. They're very far away from home, and distance is unimaginable to me.
Helping a child get their own education just gives us such a great feeling.
Education is a right, not a privilege. Everyone should have an education.
When I came to the gala, one of the girls who got educated, she was doing PhD. It was her speech made me cry with the joy.
The cause is not just an Indian cause, it is a cause to help those that need it most. We've been trying to engage two aspects of it. One is the corporate side of it.
When the corporations step out, they never go away because they know this is a great cause.
But also getting the young professionals engaged.
We've just gotten some brand new faces who's very, very eager to work really, really hard.
Getting these kind of people who really care for something like this, it's been a great personal experience.
People within my generation looking for a charity where 100% of the money goes back.
There's no administrative fee, no hidden charges.
The work is quite fun. We've got the walkathon.
I actually love the before planning, so definitely using social media to really get the word out.
The day of, everyone had matching t-shirts. Seeing the excitement was really nice. The walkathon is a lot of fun. Sometimes we race each other to see who gets to the finish line first.
Most recently, we just held a midsummer white party at the distillery district.
The M4 Seva ride was so successful in the past years that we increased it to 3 100-kilometer rides. That also helped us recruit many more people because they had 3 different days to choose from.
Annual M4 Seva golf tournament. This year we netted 45,000, which helped us educate 90 children.
I help the day of the gala, and I also help selling the tickets.
Going and asking for silent auction item has become a passion for me.
We're always at the booths, we're always selling tickets. It's just a great feeling.
The brochure that comes out on the gala night, I've been doing it for 10 years now. It informs our guests of the yearly activities, what's happening in the hostels and with the students.
The most important part here is we all come together to strategize on how we can make a difference.
It's like giving is always more fruitful than receiving.
It always just makes me want to do it more and keep working.
It's a lot of fun meeting other M4 Seva volunteers.
Working together to get the job done.
Feels great. Golf, people enjoy it.
Very positive energy. It also increases their own self-confidence.
We have been able to make good friends, people that we didn't know they existed in Toronto.
They've inspired me to think outside the box, to really be motivated for the charity.
Thanks to all the ones who have volunteered and people who are thinking of volunteering. This is a great cause.
You know, the best thing you can offer is your time.
Come out and join us.
Golf with us next year, you will love it.
Come walk with us.
Volunteer for the silent auction.
Come on bike with us.
If your corporation, think about Aim for Seva.
Come out and join us.
Come out and volunteer.
We would now like to introduce guest of honor for tonight, Mr. Kamal and Mrs. Nalini Paul. As a graduate from Chandigarh College of Architecture in India, Kamal has worked at various architectural firms across Canada, and in 1996, he partnered with interior designer Ben Ignani. Originally, as a participant in many Shakespeare performances around Newfoundland, Kamal continues to be an active member of arts community. Kamal has a wealth of experience strong business acumen, and hands-on approach mentoring his diverse range of multidisciplinary employees. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor for tonight, Mr. Kamal Paul and Mrs. Nalini Paul. So Mr. Kamal Paul and Mrs. Nalini Paul are actually our chief guests for tonight. So welcome.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We feel deeply honored and extremely grateful to God to be able to be standing in front of you today and being a small part of this amazing charitable organization. Kamal and I have attended the Aim for Seva Galas for about now 12 years, and each time we have been so inspired by all the work these people have been doing, the whole committee led by Terry and Nemi Papneja. They are a true role model for our community. They have brought it from a small area to such a beautiful big organization. Thank you. We all have so much to be grateful for, and we all are truly blessed. And what better way do we have to give back to the community than to empower our children with the gift of education? So much that we have taken for granted means so much more to these people. I would just like to close with a few lines that I really like to share with you. Everyone is my teacher. Some I seek, some I subconsciously attract. Often, I learn simply by observing others. Some may be completely unaware that I am learning from them, yet I bow deeply in gratitude. Thank you to each one of you for being here today and supporting this worthy cause. Thank you.
Try and keep it short. Good evening. We are grateful to the Aim for Seva for providing us this platform. We are delighted to share the gift of education with the children in India. Like many of us, when I arrived in Canada, I had $143 in my pocket and an education. That education is what gave us a means to make the lives we wanted. Now, Nalini and I have the opportunity to share the same with those who have not been so fortunate. There are very few truly life-changing opportunities available to anybody, and education has to be on the top of that list. When we decided to make this contribution, my business partner, Ben, wholeheartedly supported this gift. As a sign of our appreciation of his generosity, I would like him to invite Ben and his wife Martina to join us on stage for a cause so clear to all our hearts. Ben, would you like to come up, please?
All I'd like to say is we're just honored to be a part of this organization. This it's a truly wonderful thing that you do for children. It's utterly amazing that what you have accomplished over the years, and we're just thankful to be a part of this, and like to thank Kamal and Nalini for making us aware of this. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Martina.
Thank you.
One second. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben and Kamal, their business partner, and they both are donating together tonight one hostel for Aim for Seva. It's a $180,000 donation. And we are so grateful to them. And we are so delighted that they have shown this generosity. And Kamal called me and I went to his office and he said, here is the check. And later on he explained that this is, for the hostel. So this is how generous they are. And he always tells me, it's the Nalini who gave me the inspiration. So big hands for Nalini and Martina also. Thank you.
Wow. That's amazing. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Next, I'd like to direct your attention to the screens to view a short video about Mrs. Rani Gupta and her journey with Aim for Seva.
Ramesh and Rani Gupta started supporting Aim for Seva years ago, supporting 5 children each year. Several years ago, the Gupta family decided to increase their support and made a substantial donation to construct a Seva hostel. In 2015, the Guptas visited the new hostel in Nemavar and were so impressed they decided to support a second building. Unfortunately, Ramesh got sick and after a long and brave fight, he passed away on September 15, 2016. In honor of her husband, Rani decided to fulfill his dream and funded a new building that includes an auditorium, library, computer room, play area, sports facility, and guest rooms.
On July 30th, 2017, I visited Nemavar in Bhopal with my son Navneet, and it was a joyous occasion to see the children using this new facility. We also donated 2 cows and planted fruit trees so the kids could get fresh milk and fruit every day. We plan to donate books, computers, and other things to make the new premises even better. I would urge everyone to consider supporting Aim for Seva. It is a very good organization. Thank you Swami Aishwaryananda ji, Nimi, Dr. Terry Papaneja, and I am very grateful to Dr. Evelyn Singh who introduced me to Aim for Seva.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 years ago, Rani Gupta and Ramesh, they both donated a hostel. A hostel was made in Nemavar, Madhya Pradesh, tribal area. And 2015, 2 years ago, Rani and Ramesh went to the hostel inauguration. Rani herself is a teacher for 30 years, and she was so touched, she was so impressed with the hostel, the children, how good they are doing, the education they are getting. They started thinking right there and there that we should do the second hostel. Can you believe it? You have donated first hostel, you go for inauguration, and you are so impressed that you want to do a second building. That was only 2 years ago. And then last year, Ramesh Gupta passed away because due to sudden illness. But Rani remembered his last conversation about the second hostel. And this year, she has donated another hostel building. What a kind and generous heart. No another example, no parallel. And she is so humble for it. So give her a big, big round of applause.
Hope everybody is enjoying the salad. Now, we will have our guest of honor come up and speak, Mr. Kishore and Mrs. Sudha Katecha. Together, they migrated from Uganda to Canada in 1972. Now, Mrs. Katecha, now retired, had a long and successful career at Northwestern General Hospital and Mississauga Hospital. Mr. Kotecha worked for the Government of Ontario and retired after 25 years of service to run his business and later moved to India to set up a KPO in Goa. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Kotecha.
Good evening, everyone. My daughter Sono passed away last November, and she wanted to dedicate her life to Seva for humanity. She had been to India a few times and always did her part for poor families. While here in Canada, she always reminded my wife that every time she goes for shopping, she must buy some food for the food bank. During my visit to Dr. Vipin Mithya, we talked about my daughter and her wish. He suggested Aim for Seva. I had never heard for Aim for Seva because I'm constantly traveling between India and Canada. He showed me the booklet. My wife and I went through it. We arranged a meeting amongst Dr. Mithya, Dr. Terry Papneja, Mr. Sampath Podar, and us. Dr. Papneja provided further insight into the activities and the concept of Aim for Seva. I've been to India for many years. A lot has been done to provide food for the poor, but not enough for the education for the underprivileged children. Only Procter & Gamble builds schools in India through the profits made from the sale of their products. Procter & Gamble has built 1,500 schools in India so far, but again, no accommodation for the children. We are very much inspired by the project and decided to commit ourselves in the memory of our daughter Sonal. Lastly, I would want to thank Dr. Mithya for introducing us to Aim for Seva and Dr. Papneja for providing us the insight to fulfill our daughter's Sonal's objective. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have another exciting news. Kishore and Sudha, they have made an announcement for one hostel donation. But this is the first hostel donation which is double the size. It will be 100 seating, 100 capacity, 100 children capacity hostel. And they are donating $260,000. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This they are doing in the memory of their daughter Sonal, who just passed away recently. And her main focus of life was helping others. And they want to provide her the lasting legacy as well as fulfill her desire helping others. And what a beautiful way to help. Thank you. Thank you, Sudhaji. Thank you, Kishore.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Kotecha. Well, I hope everybody is enjoying their salad. And while you're enjoying your salad, I wanted to draw your attention to the center of the tables. Those centerpieces, you can actually win them tonight. There is an envelope in the middle of the table as well. If you could be so kind to generously donate $10 per person and for the centerpiece, and then we will draw a name at the end of the night and one person can take it home. At the same time, I'm seeing all the scrolling items for silent auction, and I think I have my eyes set up on a Satyapal sari. I like the Cleopatra necklace from Jazz and Jogia, and also the Raptor.
I think I may get that one myself, so.
Stop, no. I'm gonna get it.
Right.
Anyways, and the Raptors tickets, what are you guys bidding for? Do take a look at your tablets as well.
Throughout the evening, we've heard all these wonderful hostel donations, and like, my God, But that's not the only way you can contribute. There are many ways that you can show your support, and you may have noticed that big board outside. That is AIM 365, and that's a program where you can support 730 kids for one day for all their education, food, and boarding needs, and there are 365 spots. So collectively, when all the spots are filled, everybody can support all of those children for an entire year. In addition, there is Celebrate to Educate. This is where Aim for Seva provides you with your own personal donation link, and for any event you're hosting, you can invite your guests to donate to Aim for Seva on your behalf. But beyond that, there's more creativity. And I'm honored to present a little video showcasing my own family's way to support the cause by celebrating a special someone's birthday.
It was Terry Uncle's 60th birthday, a very special birthday, and we just didn't want to buy him a gift. We wanted to do something big and special together.
What we thought would give maximum impact and put a really big smile on his face was, as a collective group of 30 of us, to do what we call a 2010 scholarship.
Which meant we sponsored 20 kids over 10 years.
We felt very blessed to be able to do this to celebrate Terry Uncle's 60th birthday because he has provided so much emotional support and mentorship for all of us.
And we feel very fortunate to be given this opportunity to pay it forward to the kids in India because Terry Uncle has made a huge impact in all our lives through education, and now we had the chance to do the same for kids in India, so we're very thankful for that.
This collective gesture of ours put a smile on his face. It made him really happy. We couldn't have done it alone. We could only make this big impact because we did it as a team together.
Well, that was really inspirational and some great idea for all of us who are looking to celebrate some special occasions and create some memories. Up next, we would like to call up Sukalyan Dance Troupe to present the second part of their performance called Showers of Blessing. This is a contemporary dance piece incorporated with the aesthetic song of Rabindranath Tagore. This production will shed light on world peace, international integration, and the flawless amalgamation of East and the West. The sensational music is composed by Subain Chatterjee, and it's beautifully stitched by Sukalyana Bhattacharya. We want to thank the performers, Arzina, Barsha, Julie, Jordan, Nisha, Paramita, Prarthona, Rochona, Shreya, Tasneem, Tulika, Aishani, and Sukalyan himself. And special thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Papneja, Ms. Arun Haider, Jacqueline School of Dance, Mani Ashok, and Misha Biswas. Ladies and gentlemen, Sukalyana Bhattacharya presenting Showers of Blessings.
Janani
আছে অমৃত গান তার নাইকো বাণী নাইকো ছন্দ নাইকো তার তারে আনন্দের জাগরণে ছুঁয়ে দাও বিশ্ব হৃদয় হতে ভাবা প্রাণের পাগল গানের হাওয়া সেই হাওয়াতে হৃদয় আমার ছুঁয়ে দাও আলোকের ঝর্ণা ধারায় ধুইয়ে দাও আপনাকে লুকিয়ে রাখা ফুলার ঢাকা ধুইয়ে দাও আলোকের ঝর্ণা ধারায় ধুইয়ে দাও Showers of blessing. This is the promise of love. There shall be seasons refreshing, sent from the Savior above. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead. But for the showers we plead. But for the showers we plead.
What an outstanding performance and so much energy in this dance group. I had an opportunity to actually see them practice earlier on today, and boy, these guys can dance. And I was thinking to myself, if I could do half of these dance steps, and if I spent maybe 5 minutes trying these, I would have some great calves and I wouldn't need to go to the gym. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give another round of applause for Sukalyana Bhattacharya troupe. Thank you. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce tonight's keynote speaker, India's High Commissioner to Canada, His Excellency Vikas Swarup. During his diplomatic career, His Excellency has served in many countries and as a spokesman for India's Ministry of External Affairs. He's traveled around the world with Prime Minister Modi and External Affairs Minister Sushmita Swaraj. He is quite an author. Believe it or not, he is quite an author. He's a writer of famous novel Q&A, which was adapted in Academy Award and Globe and Globe Award winner movie Slumdog Millionaire. All credit to him. Yet he modestly describes himself as a full-time diplomat and part-time or occasional writer. His Excellency is a global Indian representing the values of service, modesty, humility, and abiding commitment to advancing the public good. All the values that are near and dear to our heart. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, His Excellency Vikas Swarup.
Dr. Terry Papneja, Mrs. Nimmi Papneja, distinguished guests. It's a pleasure for Aparna and me to join you for the Aim for Seva's 16th annual gala. It was my good friend Kasi Rao who first told me about this unique charity which seeks to not just improve the lives of the underprivileged, but to actually empower them through education, and all through a model that ensures zero administrative cost. And this model works because of people like you gathered in this room. When Dr. Papneja first approached me to be the keynote speaker at the annual gala, I asked him, what would you like me to speak on? And he says, I leave the choice entirely up to you. It's just that I think people would like to hear what you have to say. And you know, in my job as High Commissioner, most often I'm asked to speak on India-Canada relations, on how the partnership is doing between the world's two largest democracies, one by surface area and one by population. But because you are such a unique charity, I thought it would be interesting to just focus on charity. So the title of my talk today is The Art of Giving. It was Mark Twain who said, the first half of life consists of the capacity to enjoy without the chance. The last half consists of the chance without the capacity. All of you gathered here this evening are exceptional in the sense that you have both the capacity and the chance. And the great thing is, you want to share that capacity by giving a chance to the disadvantaged and vulnerable children that Aim for Seva supports. So thank you for opening your hearts and your purses for tonight's gala. Can we have some silence on that part of the room, please? It is especially gratifying to see a full hall at a time when the world has still not fully recovered from the global financial crisis. Charitable organizations have been specially hit by the financial crunch. Public service charity donations in Canada have fallen by 14.6% over last year, and donations to registered charities in Canada are at a 10-year low. Some charities have therefore resorted to new and innovative ways to raise funds. I wonder if you have heard about this charity in Halifax, which recently held its annual gala and had at its keynote speaker not a politician or a diplomat or a business person, but a famous hypnotist. The idea being that he would hypnotize the guests into giving money. The event took place in a room much like this, with a full attendance of more than 900 people. The audience sat fascinated as the hypnotist withdrew a pocket watch. He held it out and instructed, "Watch the watch, watch the watch, watch the watch." The crowd became mesmerized as the watch swayed back and forth, light glinting off its polished surface. Hundreds of pairs of eyes followed the watch. The hypnotist then began chanting, "Don't go for vanity, think of humanity. It's bad to be greedy, give to the needy. Forget that vacation, make that donation." And it worked. Ladies opened their handbags, and instead of taking out their lipsticks, they took out their MasterCards and Visas. Businessmen took out their checkbooks and began writing checks for that charity. When suddenly, the hypnotist's fingers slipped and the watch fell to the floor and shattered. "Shit," said the hypnotist. You can imagine what happened after that. I don't want to be graphic, but I'm told it took 3 weeks to clean up the hall. I assure you, I have no intention to cause any such disruption. And in any case, I'm sure there's no one in this room who needs to be hypnotized into giving. It is your generosity that has made Toronto the top donor city by far amongst all donor chapters of Aim for Seva worldwide. Unfortunately, as Dr. Papneja knows all too well, there are still some people who need to be arm-twisted into giving. There is the story of a wealthy banker who had never given a donation to the local charity. So the director of the charity decided to make a phone call. We have done a lot of research on the rich people in our area, Our records show that you make $1 million a year, yet you haven't given a penny to charity, the director began. Wouldn't you like to help the local community? So the banker thought about it and then replied, did your research show that my mother is ill with extremely expensive medical bills? No, mumbled the director. Or that my brother is blind and unemployed? No, I didn't know that, said the director. Did your research tell you that my sister's husband died, leaving her broke with 4 kids? I had no idea. So, said the banker, if I don't give them any money, what makes you think I'd give you any? So I think he was exemplifying the old adage, charity begins at home. But even if our charity may begin at home, its end, its object, and its purpose must be homes other than our own. We must care for those who are not as fortunate as we are. To master the art of living, we have to practice the art of giving. And that is why every religion in the world exhorts its followers to charity. If we look at Buddhism, one of its key practices is that of compassion. The interdependence of all things combined with an awareness of the helplessness of those less fortunate inspires compassion. Giving is an expression of the natural qualities of kindness and compassion, and one way to remove the chains of attachment. Islam is based on 5 fundamental pillars, the third of which is charity or zakat. It is mandatory for Muslims who can afford it to give a minimum 2.5% of their savings. The point is to make a positive difference in someone's life, regardless of what type of support is given. Hinduism maintains that moral conduct should revolve around the 3 Ds, Dham, Daya, and Dan. Dham means to control our passions so that our desires may not exceed their limits. Daya means to treat all of God's creatures with kindness and compassion, and Dan means to give others their due share. The Bhagavad Gita urges people to act selflessly for the welfare of others, and that true enjoyment and peace lies in detachment from wealth and from our sense of possession. Charitable giving is central to Christian spirituality. The biblical injunction to love thy neighbor as thyself means to practice justice towards your fellow human beings. Everyone is your neighbor, even the stranger by the side of the road, and those who show mercy obey God's law. Jainism, which attaches the highest importance to non-violence or ahimsa, enjoins its followers to give regularly from their income to benefit not only the weaker sections of society, but also other living beings like animals and birds. Charity is also built into the religious, social, and cultural DNA of Judaism. Jewish law dictates that 10% of net earnings be given to charity. In fact, the Hebrew word for charity, zedakah, means more than giving to the vulnerable. It is not merely a transfer from benefactor to beneficiary, but a way of living a just life. In Sikhism, Guru Nanak sought to create a society in which the indigent and the oppressed are looked after. He provided Sikhs with a new ethical framework in which people who are fit to work are required to earn a living through honest means, while sharing the fruits of their earnings with sections of society that are the most needy. One of the institutions that came out of this ethical framework is the langar, or free kitchen. It is said that no one in Amritsar has slept hungry in the last 4 centuries thanks to the langar in the Golden Temple, which serves free food daily to 100,000 people regardless of their religious affiliation. So you can see that religion, virtually every religion, maintains that the best way to serve God is to serve our fellow human beings. In many ways, it is a call to overcome our selfish nature and to realize our deep interconnectedness with each other and all of creation. But charity isn't just a matter of faith. As it turns out, even science has upheld the maxim, it's better to give. Research has shown that giving makes us far happier than receiving. Michael Norton, a professor at Harvard Business School, ran a test at the University of British Columbia that involved giving students $5 or $20. Half the group were told that they needed to spend the money on themselves, and the other half was told to spend the money on someone else by the end of the day. The study found that the ones who gave their money away were happier, but those who spent on themselves felt just the same. Also, the amount of money spent or given didn't make any difference. The result was replicated when the study was conducted in other countries. From Uganda to India to South Africa, Professor Norton found that spending money on other people is linked to happiness. According to Professor Paul Dolan at the London School of Economics, happiness depends not only on pleasure, but also on purpose. Sustained happiness is not found in accruing wealth, because we so rapidly get used to it, but rather in exercising that wealth wisely. The Giving Pledge, started by Bill and Melinda Gates and Warren Buffett, is animated by the same principle. It is an effort to help address society's most pressing problems by inviting the world's wealthiest individuals and families to commit more than half of their wealth to philanthropy or charitable causes. Indeed, it is through giving that we enrich and perpetuate both our own lives and the lives of others. As St. Francis of Assisi said, "For it is in giving that we receive." This applies not only at the individual level, but also at the corporate level, where Professor Michael Porter of Harvard Business School has developed the concept of shared value, of generating economic value in a way that also produces value for society by addressing its challenges. As industrialist Anand Mahindra has argued, today, creating value for all stakeholders, including the wider community, is what will distinguish the successful business of the 21st century from the unsuccessful one. Businesses that don't create social value in the process of making profit will quickly erode their brand and lose the trust of the public. There are already great examples of Indian businesses creating shared value. Amul Cooperative Society transformed a milk-starved country through the White Revolution to one where Amul dairy products, milk, cheese, ice cream, and chocolate are world-class. Consumers benefited, and so did the milk producers and the communities around them. Fab India is another example of a profitable retail platform simultaneously also being a community-led supply chain consisting of over 100,000 artisan shareholders, and in the process positively impacting sustainable livelihoods in the rural sector. And Mahindra itself has introduced the Yuvraj 215, a small tractor designed specifically for farms of 5 acres or less, priced near the cost of buying and feeding a pair of bullocks for a year. The Yuvraj 215 has sparked a mechanization revolution in rural India and is selling faster than Mahindra can build them. So these are all examples of what happens when you move your business from the transactional to the transformational. It is not just a feel-good exercise in CSR, it is also a sound business strategy. The key, as always, is to see the big picture. Yet, many of us miss the trees for the wood. There's a good illustration of this in the classic story about Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. The great detective and his sidekick go on a camping trip. After a good dinner and a bottle of wine, they retire for the night and go to sleep inside their tent. Some hours later, Holmes wakes up and nudges his faithful friend. "Watson, look up and tell me, what do you see?" "I see millions and millions of stars, Holmes," replies Watson. "And what does that tell you, Watson? What do you deduce from that?" asked Holmes. Watson ponders for a moment. "Well, astronomically it tells me that there are millions of galaxies and potentially billions of planets. Astrologically, I observe that Saturn is in Leo. Horologically, I deduce that the time is approximately 3:15. Meteorologically, I suspect that we will have a beautiful day tomorrow. Theologically, I see that God is all-powerful and that we are a small and insignificant part of the universe. But what does it tell you, Holmes? Now, Watson is very chuffed. He thinks, he is the great detective. He has deduced so many things from seeing the stars. Holmes is silent for a moment. Watson, you idiot, he says, it means someone has stolen our tent. So always look at the big picture. Remember that true wealth is not acquired through earthly possessions, but by leading a fulfilling life. And there is nothing more fulfilling than knowing that you have made a palpable difference in the lives of other people. We can gift many things, but the best gift is the gift of education. This is a truth recognized since ancient times. As the Rig Veda says, it is very noble to feed a hungry person. However, there is nothing more noble than imparting knowledge. For knowledge cannot be stolen or destroyed. With time, it grows and continues giving happiness to many more people. Feeding a person is momentary support. Imparting knowledge is permanent support. A nation that is educated is a nation that succeeds and that will have a better tomorrow. India, for instance, is currently going through a massive transformation. We are now talking about the vision of a new India, which will be powered by our most valuable resource, our 800 million youth. And this vision can only be achieved through education. As they say, Padhega India, to Badhega India. Only an educated India will be a developed India. AIM for Seva is doing a commendable job in helping achieve that vision, because it recognizes that access to education is the key to tackling the core challenge of poverty. By helping AIM for Seva achieve its goals, we are helping create a better life for the disadvantaged. We are helping create a better society. As someone said, and I will conclude with this, it is good to be blessed, but it is better to be a blessing. Thank you.
Wow. Inspirational words, entertaining, made me laugh. I gotta make sure I read Q&A one more time. Another round of applause for His Excellency Vikas Swarup. Now I know we've said it all night, but volunteers, volunteers, volunteers. Volunteers are what inspire the trust in AIM for Seva. And this year, as we've mentioned, we've had a few other successful events other than this gala. Walk to Educate raised over $25,000. Golf to Educate raised over $45,000. The children at Fern Hill now have continued to raise even more money this year, totaling over $22,000 over 6 years. And again, the volunteers are the ones that help support these initiatives and keep them alive. So I'd like to direct your attention again to the screens to view another video on the volunteers.
AIM for Seva is a very Canadian organization. It stands for Canadian values. For us, making an impact, changing the lives of kids.
I live by one motto: you make a living with what we get, and you make a life with what we give.
We have a rat race we run every day. In between that, if you have something, a reason, it actually makes me feel like I'm doing something with my life.
It's such a small thing, you're making such a big difference in the world, and it just gives you such a good feeling. Giving back, it feels like the right thing to do.
It makes me happy that I can put a smile on somebody's face and give them better life.
Two things that motivate me. One, of course, is to know that this is helping poor children go to school and uplift their families. But at a more local level, it's a lot of fun meeting other AIM for Seva volunteers.
When you join AIM for Seva as volunteers, you'll join a family.
Tremendous lot of friends, such beautiful people.
And a lot of people are just very willing to just step up.
We have a great team of people who's helping behind the scene.
It's a great way to meet people who believe the same thing. Everyone is just so nice to talk to, and everyone is so welcoming.
I'm looking forward to being part of the group to build my friend circle like this way, like more and more.
AIM for Seva is a very genuine and very transparent organization. The people who are associated with it as well, it's a great team.
Like a synergy where the whole is greater than the individual parts.
The network continues to grow. We tell our friends tell other friends. We come together for a great cause.
I'm Alicia, and I believe in Aim for Seva.
I'm Rachna.
I am Suki.
I'm Ray.
I'm Pankaj and I believe in Aim for Seva.
I'm Richa.
I'm Jyoti.
I'm Nikhil, and I believe in Aim for Seva.
I'm Naren.
I'm Akash.
I'm Shayna, and I believe in Aim for Seva.
I'm Harsha.
I'm Sam.
I'm Ritu, and I believe in Aim for Seva.
I'm Sonali.
I'm Anil Chawla, and I love supporting Aim for Seva.
Sounds like I want to say it again. I am Jyoti, and I support Aim for Seva. We want to take this opportunity to thank our volunteers again, without whom this event would not have been successful. We also want to thank our audio-video team headed by Ranish Pawa, Empire Video, photographer Atush Patel, ATN, Paris of Paris Events and Decor, our vendors, silent auction donors, and Pearson Convention Center management and staff. In addition, I also want to thank all our corporate sponsors, our child sponsors, and each and every one of you. So thank you. Lastly, I want to thank an individual who has brought all of us together, who has mentored us, taught us, held our hand, cheered us on, smiled along the way, made us a part of this worthy cause. We all want to thank Nimi Auntie, our darling Nimi Patneja. Thank you for introducing us to Aim for Seva. Thank you for mentoring us. And thank you for always smiling. Her smile, I can tell you, throughout the night, I've been looking at her.
Dinner will be served very shortly, and please continue to be seated as dinner will be served at your tables. We would also like to remind you to take a moment to check the tablets, see if there's any of those tickets or anything that you had your eyes on. Place your bids. The silent auction closes at 8:45 sharp. Enjoy dinner.
Also, if you haven't had an opportunity to bid or put some donation in for the centerpieces, please do so. We will be announcing the winners for centerpieces shortly. Thank you.
So we would like to start that draw soon. In the meantime, I'd like to thank everyone on behalf of Aim for Seva for coming out and supporting us. Thank you again.
Can we invite Mr. Subhash Khanna and Mr. Raj Kapoor from our Montreal chapter to please come up on the stage? We'd like you to draw the winner for us, and we would like to hear what our friends in Montreal are up to.
Yeah, shake it up. Hi, how are you?
How are you? Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Hi.
Okay, Mr. Khanna, the mic is over to you. You get to draw the winner, and we want to hear what our Montreal chapter is up to.
What an honor to be present as this August gathering. I am so impressed by the organization and the kind of work, the noble work what you guys are doing. I am trying to get some ideas how to start this chapter in Montreal and how to help you guys. I already had one meeting with Dr. Papneja, and through Mr. Arun Srivastava and his efforts, we are going to start a chapter in Montreal.
Please give a big hand. Please give a big hand. This is how we want to grow across Canada. So next would be West Coast, Calgary, Vancouver.
So thank you very much for inviting us today, and we are glad to be part of the organization. Thanks a lot.
Gentlemen, silent auction is now closed. If you have won one of the items, you would have either received a text message, or if you see your name on the screen, we ask that you go visit our silent auction desk, which is outside in the lobby, right outside of the silent auction room. That is where you can get an itemized receipt, and you can make a payment using cash or credit card.
Thank you, everybody who came out tonight, whether you donated, bought something from the silent auction, just showed your support. Want to thank you so much, and the children thank you. We want to wish everybody a great night and a safe drive home.
Thank you. And for those who don't follow us on Facebook, please do so. We post all our upcoming events and our current events, and you can see what we are up to. And if you're interested in being a part of Aim for Seva volunteer team, please come by and see us or visit www.aimforseva.ca. Thank you and have a great night, everyone.